Chapter 4 The Most Beautiful of God's Creatures. Lena realizes Busha's workroom is less apothecary and more an arcane test kitchen, one that would have existed long before the concept of a test kitchen itself. It is a room from a time when cooks were also healers, scientists, alchemists, barbers, and who the fuck knows what else. Not to mention the fact that Busha herself is not entirely human. Lena and Darren watch as the ancient woman rummages through piles of books that look as though they might have been bought in bulk to decorate the set of a Universal monster movie from the 1930s.
Goblins are most beautiful of God's creatures by far, she explains. I have a little goblin in me myself.
Ma'am? Darren asks. Busha turns and smiles a grandmotherly smile on him.
I've played a lot of D&D in my time, he begins nervously.
He has, Lena confirms, a pathetic amount.
Goblins are monsters,
Darren finishes sharply, eyeing her.
What is monster?
Well, monster is a word that means,
I know what word means,
Busha snaps.
I ask you what you think makes something a monster.
Something big and ugly that probably eats babies? I don't know. Busha clicks her tongue, pulling out one of the dusty old volumes and slamming it against her carved wooden pedestal.
Image of goblins you have comes from angry, jealous lies. Lies made by men and women. Jealous they were of goblin beauty, goblin spirit, goblin perfection. They wanted their sons and daughters to stop running off with goblins. So, they spread lies, painted pictures. They made monsters of goblins.
But if they weren't monsters, why would people believe any of that? Lena asks. Busha turns the brittle pages of the tome rapidly.
People were even more stupid back then. Ah, here we are.
She steps aside and motions for them to both examine the pages of the book. The illustrations are old, faded, and crude. One page depicts children in their teens crawling, almost supplicating toward a lithe, luminous figure awaiting them with open arms. The opposing page depicts the same young people in the same setting, only now they're being torn apart by a monstrous fanged creature where the luminous figure stands in the first illustration. But they don't turn into monsters? Darren asks. Busha shakes her head.
No, mostly they are just very, very pretty. Their looks cast spell on most, snare them. This is how they make their way in the world, by their looks.
How's that?
In past, they were show people or thieves. Today, they are in movies mostly. All the very pretty people in movies are mostly goblin.
Darren's eyes are wide. What, like George Clooney? Busha shrugs. So what do they eat? Lena asks impatiently. These goblins of yours. Busha makes a cluck sound with her tongue, but she lets Lena's tone slide.
Gold is goblin delicacy.
Gold what?
Gold,
Busha reiterates sharply. You mean like... Busha reaches out and pinches the gold chain around Darren's neck between the tip of her thumb and forefinger. She rattles the chain while enunciating slowly.
Gold.
Fine, they eat gold. I get it. How do you cook gold? Darren asks.
Carefully,
is Busha's only answer. So aside from being, goblins, what's so important about this wedding? Busha stares at Lena as if she were the most ignorant of children in a classroom.
Is